Screen share. And where is it? There it is. All right, welcome. We are going to talk about Itslearning and Google integrations. So I don't know if you knew this, but Google does have an online platform for classrooms. It's called Google Classroom, but it is pretty limited. And then they have one partner, and that's Itslearning, that does full integrations with all of the other features that a full-blown LMS can do with adopted resources and content. So that's kind of what we're looking at, is their partnership with Itslearning and kind of how that's growing. And obviously we are moving to an all Chromebook, all Chrome environment. So this is even more important as we move forward as a district. So the goals today are to identify how to combine Itslearning and Google to further our UDL practices, and then work on making those Google integrated assignments on Itslearning. And this provides students the ability to have all of those benefits of Google. So we heard a couple times that, you know, Itslearning crashed on me and I lost it. And if they would have just typed it in Google, it would have been easier. It would have saved if they would have had any issues. Teacher workflow as well. This will benefit. It automatically makes copies of assignments, so you don't have to mess with the URL that you're handing out, the long code up there, and then supports action and expression. So students are able to provide you what they know in a lot of different ways. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. This first one is just adding resources from Google Drive to Itslearning, and that's pretty easy. So I'm in a course here, and I have to move, sorry, the camera's in my way. When you're in a course, you can go to resources, you can really go anywhere in the course, and there's this green add button on the right side, and you can click add there, and it'll give you the option to add from Google Drive. The first time you do this, it is going to ask you to sync to a Google Drive account, and it's extremely important that you sync to your BCSC one. So I've already done that. So I'm going to select Google Drive here and link a resource and select file. It also gives recent ones. So it is going into my Google Drive in this other window. Ma, you can see that window, can't you?
Yeah, can you now can you move your picture?
You have to do it on your end. So you should be able to move it from the top black form. But there's the add button over there.
Yes, yes. Now I can see that.
And then I can search. So I'm going to add or look for mitosis. This is actually my old AP biology course from quite a while ago. So there's some files here. I'm going to select one, and it will insert the file within the course. So it's added to resources here. And there you have your Google integrated file within Itslearning. Make sure your shared settings are good so that students can view it. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward in terms of adding something from your drive into your course of resources. Does that make sense?
Yes,
okay.
We did this.
So that one's the easy one. So now we're going to jump into that assessment piece. And this is really the assessment tool. If you haven't used it, is like, it's amazing because you can make it as complex or as easy or simple as you want. So this is called the Swiss Army knife of Itslearning. You can add videos, audios, even kind of just websites kind of embedded in there, really anything you want. And it's an easy place to track when kids have submitted an assignment as well. So the assignment tool, if you're going to use anything in Itslearning, I would say use the assignment tool, especially for assessments and, again, easy checks to see if a student's completed what you're wanting them to. Okay, you can do this in one of your courses or a sandbox course, and you just have to start by creating an assignment. So this is under resources and assignment. or click the add button. So I'm going to go up here and you can add an assignment is the first one, or I can click add over on the left and you get an assignment tool here.
Yes.
I think there's probably even another way, but it went away here. So multiple ways to add things. If you're in the planner, you can also add it to your plans under this activity here. So there's an assignment there even. So they're all over the place. So let's just add one. And then I'm going to add assignment. So this is the basic view of assignment, and you may see this where it doesn't show all the options to build it, and you just click more options and it shows the whole toolbar. We're gonna label this one, let's call it mitosis, and I'm gonna be the resources. So for this one, there's two ways that we can set up these Google assignments. So we've created the assignment there and we're in there, and you name it and then you can add any instructions that you want here. So that's all in this text box. Hello, let's do please review the attached document and let me know if you have any questions. So you've created an assignment, and again, to add images, to add audio, to add video, all of those tools are right there, which is pretty nice. So there are two options for here. There is one where you give your students only view access to that assignment. So it's basically a resource, it's not their own, and it's not editable essentially. Or you can force them to create a copy of it so that every student has their own. So it's not all, potentially if you're just teaching biology, I could have 120 students in there, but this will make them copy or create a known copy that they can then edit and not everyone's going to see. So that's important here. So what we're going to do is just the view only. So I'm going to add file, or at least you hover over this add files and select it. And then it's going to bring up, do you want to add a file from your computer, OneDrive, Dropbox, or Google Drive? And I'm going to do Google Drive. And then I'm going to search for mitosis again, mitosis. And then it'll bring up my documents here. So I have a couple options here. And I'm going to select the view only one. And then the drop down arrow here is where you give that access. So it says, this is what I want the students to view, or I'm going to force it to make a copy for everyone.
Okay. Can I ask, for this student can view, there's two options. What's the difference when you click that arrow?
This other option? This other option, every student gets their own and they can edit it.
Oh, they can edit it. This one's only student can view. They can't
edit. We'll go over that next one next time. Okay. So this is option one, just can view. And you have all sorts of options on the right side with an assignment. You can create a deadline. You can mark it as homework. That'll show up. You can add standards, plagiarism check. There's quite a bit, but we're not going to mess with that right now because this is just about Google integrations. So I'm going to create it. And then it will add to my course on the left here. And there it goes. So for the student view, so I'm in this window. Can you see my window still, Ma?
Yes.
So I am going to go to, this is my daughter. So I'm going to look in resources here. And here is this mitosis review or resource. Ooh, no, that's not what I wanted. That's it. It's this assignment tool. And then I've only made it view only. So it's going to pop out in a new window and then open up in Google Drive. And then for this one, again, it's view only. So the student can request access, but at this point, all they're seeing is what you gave them. And then they can also—
Right now, I only can see your e-learning resource window. I can't see your Google Drive window.
e-learning resource.
Yeah, your daughter's name over there, assignment, but I can't see your Google Drive's window.
Oh, you only can see, I just
Yes,
highlighted this green, right?
yes, I only can see this one.
Okay. Let me see if I can change that real quick. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, yes, now
Okay.
I can. Okay.
So I went in as my daughter went to the assignment, and
Mhm.
then you can click on it, and then it opens it up in
Mhm.
Google, and I'm in Edge, so it looks a little different, but it has that document, and she can request access, but I can't edit it, which
Yes.
is what we want. I can make a copy of it, but it won't share back with you. So
Okay.
that's the first option, is just giving students view
Okay.
of that resource. So that's going back here. That's option one. And that's exactly what we've done, is add a Google Drive and then selected student can view here.
Yes.
So the next option on there, again, they can look at it and eventually answer something if it's linked there, but it's not necessarily that forced copy. So I want to show you the next option, which is option two. You ready for that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to make a new, and it's going to take a second here, but I'm going to make a new assignment, and this is going to be the actual one where they're going to make a copy of it. It's taking a minute here. And then I can show you in Drive, it'll automatically have it created.
That's last semester Itslearning. I use a lot for the assignment come from my computer document. I did not add some Google Drive, so
Got it.
it's new for me.
While this is loading here, I'll show you what it does in Google Drive. So you can go to your Drive, and again, that last assignment was called mitosis resources. So the thing is that Itslearning is creating it. So it's not going to be directly in your Drive. It's going to be in shared with me. And then you will have a mitosis resource folder, which is right here. So you open that up, and then you're going to see two folders, the template, which is what you sent out, and then anything that the student submitted. I didn't have my daughter submit anything here, but that's where it would be.
Right.
Okay. So here I'm back at the assignment, and this is the actual mitosis assignment. And then I'm going to say, please, and again, I'm going to be pretty simple here, but you can make this very
I understand.
UDL friendly.
Yeah.
Please label each phase of mitosis. So I'm going to now add the file, but this one, let me have it search here, mitosis. Did you take a lot of biology, Ma?
No.
About to do it. All right. So here I'm going to not student view. I want the student to make a copy.
Okay.
And then I'm going to create the assignment, and it'll take a second here, but it'll add it under there. And then when I go to the student view, now that student makes a copy, they can write in it. But they do have to go back and hit submit in Itslearning. So that is something you may have to coach them on a little bit. So I'm going to go back to Edge here, go to my daughter's class. As she's a student in here, refresh. Let me see if I can get the resources to refresh. And it's right here on the bottom, mitosis assignment. So here it's going to look very similar in that it's just please label each phase of mitosis. So I'm going to
Answer. Okay.
answer it, and then it's preparing it. So it's making a copy.
Then make a copy, then you can add it. You can put any sentence, phrase.
Correct.
Okay.
But I set this one up more like a worksheet. So your students will fill it out and then return it back to you.
Okay.
So if you didn't know, oh, I missed it in the resources to go over mitosis with you. So here, this is metaphase because the chromosomes are lined up in the middle. This one is anaphase because the chromosomes are being separated and moving apart. This one is going to be prophase. It's preparing to go into mitosis. So there's no nucleus and it's doubling everything. And then telophase is the last one. These are out of order. Ooh, and I spelled it wrong. This is when it splits into two. So PMAT, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase.
Okay.
So I don't have to share it back with the teacher here. What all I do is just simply submit, and then it's submitted. So I can't go back and edit this, at least from what the teacher can view. So then going back to the teacher, let's see if I can get this to update for me. I'm looking at it here. Madeline has turned it in. It hasn't been graded. So I can open it here. Got it. And I can either answer it in Google or add comments here. But you can see it shows what she did there. So, or what I just did. But it has the answers there. I can record, add files to feedback, or again, just go into Google and add comments. But then you essentially are able to grade the assessment. And this one I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So it's done essentially for you, all within Itslearning and with Google Drive. But I can also go back to shared with me, and here's the folder that it's in. And again, here's the template that I made, but Madeline's answer should be in here, and there's where it is, and it puts a student name, and I can view it in that way too. If your students can't find it, the owner is Itslearning of that in your drive because they're the ones that made the copy. So you'll have to tell your students if they're looking for it to go to shared with me, and then it'll be in a folder in that shared with me area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what we did there. We created a quick Google Doc, had each student make a copy. And again, you can do this with slides or sheets, I'd imagine. So there are probably some limitations on it, but you make that copy, student has real-time collaboration, they turn it in, it's all organized for you. If you have it set up to give points, it'll show up in your grade book. And then it automatically saves everything. So you're not having to, again, worry about those things that don't necessarily save. So that make a copy option automatically saves everything, and it's pretty slick. And again, here's where they turned it in, and then you can look at it as if they've submitted it or not, and then grade it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, we're speeding along here. So, so you can add assignments to Itslearning or add resources directly from Google Drive that we talked about in the ad. You can also create an assignment and link things from your Google Drive directly and have them force copy or not. The other thing that has come up quite often is a checklist for students to do. So this is in Google Slides, and this would be something that I've created obviously right now, but Google Sheets, sorry. So in Google Sheets, you can simply just use two categories here, make a to-do, and then maybe even make a date. put a date in there and then if they've completed or not. But it's really easy to do. So I could do a sent the teacher message. And then to just add this checkbox, which again is pretty nice because they have it programmed to where you can just check it off or not, is in the insert box. And it is insert checkbox and it'll automatically put there. Or you can just copy it down. So there's multiple ways to do it pretty easily.
Yeah.
But this creates kind of another layer to keep students on task, keep them engaged for this. So then
that's just for the teacher, right?
No, I would say this is for the student. So let's say you have several tasks for them to do.
Okay.
And they're not sure if they're
for
done.
One student, right? One student, right?
Yes.
Then you can see which assignment he finished, which one not. But this is for only one student, right?
Yeah, this is more for their organization.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I got it.
And then you can add that as a Google Drive resource, and it's a recent file. So it's going to push it in there, and then they at least have that now for a checklist. And then you can have them make a copy of it if you want, or give it to them in a way that they're able to use that. Okay. So it's just an easy way to get Google pieces in there that will also allow you to add check marks. And there's some more hyperlinks here with the written guide and video. Let me drop this in here real quick. If you have any questions about that one. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing just for a second here. And I'll drop that link here. There are other resources on the end there that are helpful for just kind of Google assignments and Itslearning and Google tips and tricks. But Itslearning, we feel has worked nicely with Google, has a good partnership there that hopefully our students and teachers can take advantage of. Brenny, do you have anything to add? All right. Ma, you have any questions?
No, it's good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us as always. Sorry this morning didn't go to as planned. Lots of
morning, no
what
class.
Was that?
This morning, 10 o'clock, we have another Zoom training, right?
Yeah, we moved it to Monday. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.